settle in the valleys.
The valleys.
At least we have a nice view.
Yeah.
So, we said to position ourselves, gonna look for a road that's kind of at the top of one hill and that'll go down on the other side. So you've got to approach it up the steepness to slow you down. Yeah.
Okay.
And also for visual range.
Okay.
Visual range over the height of the hill. But ideally, we want to be on a the advantageous upper ground. I have the higher ground. Don't do it, Anakin. I have the higher ground.
Okay.
That was me miming playing a mouth organ. I'll do it again.
Looks like you're skinning up.
No, I'm playing an invisible mouth organ.
Okay. You drive onto the. Make a group luck roll.
Mark.
Mark's got 51.
29.
Okay. Now make spot hidden rolls as you view the landscape from your vantage point.
Fail.
What'd you get?
92.
18. Which is
18.
hard. But I can make it savage with 2 points.
Savage.
Not necessary. Okay, so from your vantage point, it's very bleak and solitary landscape. You're like scanning the area, and you notice the sun glint off something shiny, like something reflective, at the bottom of a valley.
Is it on the approach?
Not really. You got the line of the road undulating up and down the hills through the moors, and you're on one of the higher points of the road, and looking towards Thirsk. Off the side of the road, something catches your eye, reflected off the sun, reflected off something off the road.
I'll get out my binoculars.
What it is from where you are.
I'm going to get out my binoculars.
Okay. It seems to be looks like a vehicle on its side, in like a trench off the road.
That's about a mile away or so. A mile. Oh man, take a look. Yeah, take a look. Point it out the reflection. Now hand them the goggles. Take them off.
This is after lunch, so this is about 1 o'clock. You find this.
Oh my. Is there anyone moving? around the wreck?
Not that you see.
How far is it off the road?
Um, well, it's sort of the road is on a ridge, and it seems to be like down the ridge.
Oh, okay.
Few maybe 100 yards off the road.
I start scanning the area with the binoculars. Is there anyone walking around?
Okay, make a spot roll.
Is he using the binoculars?
Yeah. I rolled 60, and that's normal, regular spot roll.
Regular. Okay, no, there's nothing else near the area.
I
You
hand the
didn't give me a
binoculars
spot roll with the binoculars.
because you didn't say I'm looking around to see if anyone's walking away from the wreckage. So I handed the binoculars over to Tulip.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you. Thank you, Devon. One second. Let me have a look. Wow, he's got a big finger. It's the size of
He
a
seems
human person.
So the binoculars show you a car on its side. It looks like it's come off the road and rolled down the ridge that the road stretches on.
So is there any body in the area? Maybe someone injured. Can I see inside the car at all?
Spot roll.
Those two things. And I roll a 6%.
No, you don't see anything else.
I can't see a body.
Anyone walking around?
I can't see anybody walking around either. I've looked around the area.
Scan the place.
There's nobody in the car that I can see.
Anyone walking near us?
If I was
Anyone else on the move?
Yusef, if I was to walk from where that car's crashed and take a beeline route to Thirsk using a map, would it cut me across the fields or would it send me to the road and carry on walking? We've got a map. We can have a look.
No, the road isn't really the most direct line to get to Thirsk. So if you had a map and you wanted to get to Thirsk from this area as fast as possible, you wouldn't take the road.
Next question. Can I see the number plate of the car in its tipped position? Okay, that was a very important question and I didn't hear anything.
Not from this distance.
Okay, we're going to go there and have a look.
Are we?
Yes.
You can
Because
go.
if it is the car. Devon, if we don't find out if that's the car, then, and he's on foot, you wouldn't take the road to get to Fleetmore. You'd take a more direct route that would take you away from. So we need to find out straight away whether there's somebody in the car or not. And if it's the car that we're looking for. If it is, we better get straight to Fleetmore Manor right away.
Or we go straight to the police station and tell them.
Let them know first, yes, via. And then we go straight there. Right, Mercy's off.
Okay. You get to the part of the road where the wrecked car is. The general area from where the. So let me start again.
Please.
You get to the part of the road. You get to the part of the road where the car is. Wrecked car. And you have to go on foot from here on if you want to get down to the car. It seems to have at the bottom of a ridge.
When you say ridge, do you mean like it's just gone down the bank a bit? Or is it like ridge?
No, it's like a bank. It's not particular. It's steep, but it's not like a cliff.
It's scramble down, not climb down.
I go to the back of the car, get out the shotgun, whatever it is, rifle, shotgun, and I stand at the road. I say, I'll cover you, Tulip. Go have a look.
Okay. I'm going to take out the holdfast bar, and I'm just going to hook it on the back of the bumper here, just so I can help pull myself back out easily.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of slipping on the grass on the way back up, I help lower myself down, and I take out my wakizashi when I get there. And I got the gun in my left hand, and I got the sword in my right. And I righteously walk around that car, and I look for prints, footprints, blood prints, hand-smelling prints, any kind of print I can find that's got blood on it, and a person on the inside. Does the door look like it's been smashed open and escaped from?
Don't forget to check the number plate.
And I check the number plate first and foremost. She says it's...
Okay, the number plate matches the number plate on the description of Davy's car.
Of course it is.
Is he there?
We expected nothing less. So it actually says RGX323.
Correct.
Anyone in the car, Tulip?
Is that so? Yeah, go on, Yusef. That was the one thing I was
There's
checking.
no one in the car. Make a track roll.
A track. Oh my god.
We need
Yeah, you
Simon.
can both do this.
Oh wow, basic 10%. It's not even been written in.
16. 26.
Your track is 15%. Mark.
Oh, fab. Okay, I'll just roll. Oh, come on, those zeros have been popping out.
Come on.
Come on. 14. I'm going to spend. Oh no. Did you say 15, Yusef?
Yeah. You can
Your
tick
track is 15, yeah.
I made it.
You can tick it too.
Oh, 14.
Nice. I failed.
Okay, you don't find any tracks but down by the car, Mark, but you notice tracks at the top on the roadside, the road end of the slope where Devon is. You notice that it looks like the car, it looks like, so you see some footprints at the side of the road. It looks like someone's pushed the car down and let it roll. And at some point it rolled and it actually did a barrel roll to end up where it was.
Let's head back quick.
Jump in the car and we're heading back to the car.
And you notice that there's no petrol in the tank. There's no petrol in the tank, it's empty.
Ran out of petrol, yeah. I'll haul myself back up immediately.
And the car is
Spending no
not,
more than
not
5 minutes to suss that out.
if someone's driving along the road, it's not immediately obvious that there's going to be a car in the ditch down on the lower, where it is.
So if we'd have driven past it, we could have missed it. Getting that
Correct.
point.
Nice.
I'll just put my finger over the camera.
So we head
Sophie.
back.
Out.
We head back to the town.
You're in the wrong room. Out. Out. Good grief.
Good gravy.
Yeah, so I'll haul myself out. Devon, there's nobody in there. By the looks of it, someone's pushed it over the edge. It had run out of petrol, and they're
Oh.
obviously on foot now. We
Let's
have no idea when it happened. And yeah, we better get back now.
To the station, quick.
Explained as we're getting into the car.
So you're going to head back.
Yeah.
Head back to Sleepmore, yeah.
To the station.
But as Neil pointed out, via the constables.
Okay, that's Sleepmore Village. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing is
Okay. You get back to the village at 2 p.m.
we go straight into the police station.
Okay.
or whatever's nearest coming in. Is it going to be the police station or the inn? Pick one.
It's half a dozen of one and 10 of the other. Doesn't really make any difference.
In that case, that means they're both close.
Yeah,
God,
they're both close to each other pretty
I
much.
just want to go in there and tell them what we're doing, and then go into the inn if they're not there. So are they in the police station first and foremost? Is there anyone there?
Croker's at the police station.
Mr. Croker, we found the vehicle. The vehicle.
Oh,
Mr. Croker, we found the vehicle RGX number. I believe it's on foot. We're heading to Sleepmore Manor now. Do you know the whereabouts of the inspectors?
I believe he's gone to the manor. Speak to Miss
That's perfect. We believe that the perpetrator is already on his way to Sleepmore Manor. Would you like to come with us?
Or go and investigate the car that we found.
Well, where exactly on the road did you...
I tell him where it was and describe the hill that I was on and how far out we were.
Okay.
He should know exactly where that is. It's got the most excellent view.
Okay. Well, you best tell Inspector Webley then.
Oh no, we're on our way to Sleepmore Manor. It's just good.
Webley's gone to the manor.
We'll go.
I believe he's gone to the manor with that fella.
Right.
Yes, I know. I got that information. You said they're both gone to the manor, so we're just going to go. Does he not want to come with us? I asked him. Would you like to?
Yeah, okay, he'll come with you. Yeah, okay, I'll come with you. Bye. Bye.
The more, the merrier. In the car, off we go. Feeling that there's a sense of urgency. You said. I'm asking Mercy to floor it. Floor it, Mercy.
Floor it, Mercy. Floor it.
Okay. 15 minutes later, you get to the manor. There's that nondescript Model T Ford parked in the driveway. Make spot hidden rolls as you enter the grounds of the manor.
Fuck yeah.
Regular.
69, dude.
Nice.
So I made it. So it's just a normal.
Hey, the fella you spoke to in the pub before you went to the police, you notice, you go like through a gatehouse over a dry moat, like a narrow bridge. The fella that you noticed, that you spoke to in the pub, you notice him in that area, the gatehouse area. Seems to be just like leaning against the wall by the moat on the bridge.
That's Stanley Crown.
If that's what his name was.
So he's observing then, is he?
The Watcher watches.
It looks like he's observing, yeah. Where are we?
As we screech by and head up the driveway, I'll stick my head out the back, and hopefully he sees a big frown on my face. And I duck my head back in.
Okay.
Need to get to the house.
Hey, he sort of like offs his hat if he was wearing a hat, but he's not wearing a hat.
Okay.
In
Acknowledgement. Okay, just carry on then.
Yeah.
I just put my head back in and we carry on. Make sure that place is secure.
What the fuck happened there?
Don't know.
What?
We
It's gone straight onto YouTube for some reason.
Oh. But testing, 1, 2, 3. You can hear me, okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you.
Good.
So we screech up to the house.
Oh, wait a minute. That's Twitch. Wait a sec. Where's Discord? There we go. Oh, have I frozen? No.
It's still here.
So we screech up to the house. Leap out the car. Running up the steps.
Enter.
Open the door. So I bang and I attempt to open the door at the same time.
Okay. You enter the manor, and Vanessa, Webley speaking to each other.
Right. Immediately I'll go. Thank the Lord.
Whatever's wrong, says Vanessa.
After we discovered what we discovered, I am so sorry to interrupt your, what clearly is a conversation you're having with Mr. Inspector Webley. Inspector Webley, we discovered that the car that was stolen by Mr. Davis had been deliberately pushed off the road after it ran out of petrol, and whoever the passenger was, and we suspect it to be Peter Davy, is now on foot. And we didn't know how long he may have been on foot. So we had to make our way back here as fast as possible, and we managed to pick up Constable Croker. Here he comes now, on the way. And I take it Constable Croker followed along with Devon and Mercy, I guess, because I'm the one that lets out the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that means Davey must be in the area.
Pretty well it. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Who's the guy outside?
Did you notice him on your way in, Inspector Webley?
What was his description?
I would say he was in a smart suit, around the age of 30,
50.
late 30s, and his name was Stanley Crown.
You're describing Webley there.
Oh, he was in his 50s and a smart suit, an intriguing gentleman by the name of Stanley Crown, who said he was here to observe. Never exactly said what he was here to observe, which I found even more intriguing. And he didn't fail to keep me more intrigued by his lack of information.
That'll be my sergeant.
Right.
That'll be my
Wonderful.
sergeant. My sergeant is with me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Good to know.
Oh, I am relieved.
Yeah.
He can observe all he wishes.
Yes, that's what he's paid to do.
Matt, we ought to go out and tell him about this man on foot. I mean, he'll be the
I'll
first
brief
to
him.
meet him.
I'll brief him shortly.
Good.
I'll take out the map. Now then, Vanessa, around about here, and I point on the map, this is where the car was pushed off the road. And
I'm going to be looking out the window all the time at the only pathway up to the house.
well, this is what I want to ascertain by asking Vanessa what's the quickest approach, and what approach might you take if you didn't want to do the direct approach. And if it's a direct approach from that direction, that's probably the one he'll take. Which is it? Out of which window? Out of which back door? Will give us the vantage point.
Well, it depends where Davey's going.
Imagine now he took a
I assume he's
direct
coming
route.
here.
Imagine now have we got a map in front of us? Okay, well look at the map. Say this is where we found the car. If we take the direct route, then he'll be coming at what window?
Yeah, exactly. So the manor is going to be somewhere Yeah, the manor's going to be somewhere, and there's going to be a point somewhere around there that the car crashed. And so if it's here, then it'll be an approach from that direction. If it's here, it'll be an approach from that direction. He won't go like this.
Well,
So
you're
navigate.
presuming that he'll walk like he'll head. You're presuming that he'll direct.
He'll
straight
head in a
line, which is
straightish
probably-
line.
which is probably very hard to do considering the nature of the moors. There are places in the moors that are quite treacherous to be on foot.
And that's why I was way ahead of you by asking
Given the nature of
Vanessa,
the moors. There are places in the moors
who
that
would
are
know.
quite treacherous to be on foot. Know what?
That's why I was way ahead of you. So you're telling me you're not going to tell me that she's lived there all her life and has got no idea where the road is from here to the moors?
She hasn't lived there all her life.
Remember, they bought the
She
manor.
lived in the continent.
Hmm.
She lived on the continent. She has not lived there for 3 years. No.
This was
I
the
don't know where you got
boys'
that
house.
information from.
Mr. Croker, Constable Croker, would you be able to know what route this would be? You must be far more knowledgeable in this area than anyone here. If you were in that car and you wanted to get to here without using the road, where do you think that you would end up arriving in the grounds of this estate?
Anywhere you'd like, really.
Then I think we better get as high as we can so we can see all around.
So the driveway up to this place, are we on a hill?
Kind of. Let me.
I'm
Don't
not
tell me
really.
it was an old fort, wasn't it?
Wasn't
I'm
it?
remembering this correctly. It used to be like an old fort. Therefore, it would be placed on a hill at an advantageous position. You wouldn't put a fort in a ditch. Let's have a look for the information on the
The manor is built on a natural rock platform and must be climbed up to on steep wooded paths or up the steep gravelled drive.
There you go. You're
Surrounded
climbing the
by
drive.
overgrown earthworks, impressive in size. It is actually an old site of a Norman Motte and Bailey arrangement, although there is additional evidence of medieval building in the towering gatehouse. The deep dry moat is crossed by a weathered but sound fixed wooden bridge. At the bridge's centre, the drop would be 30 feet.
Could you access?
The inner courtyard is dominated by the manor itself on the right-hand side, but is otherwise a vast expanse of nettles, briars and high grass, with few signs that it was once cultivated. Ruined walls jut out of the uneven surface at various points. There are established tyre tracks leading to the manor, and some recent hacking through the undergrowth on either side of the track is apparent.
When you say recent, what do you mean? How recent?
When we first got there.
Yeah. When you first got there, you noticed on the inside of the track, clearing it. It's been cleared to allow access.
Exterminate.
The vehicle.
It's always the important stuff, and like the really important stuff that you say turns into
Dalek boy. Get out of here.
always important
Yeah.
stuff. Every time.
He needs to get a mic and
So
headphones.
we need to find out if you were desperate to not be seen, can you get in any other way other than the bridge?
It sounds like you have to climb up quite a steep
Well,
thing
this is
to
what
get
I'm
out.
saying. How accessible is it then if you don't use the bridge? If you were determined to get in without using the conventional way, can it be done?
I think it can.
So we've got to put a watch that we can see all of the grounds.
All the compass points covered.
Yeah.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes.
see you now.
Right, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
How you doing, by the way, Neil? All good?
All good, thanks, Mark. Yourself?
Lots of water you're drinking there for anybody?
Good.
All grand, Neil.
Good, good.
Oh, on Wednesday it's my birthday.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday for Wednesday.
Oh wow, happy birthday, Mark.
I thank you.
Have 10 XP.
Yeah.
Cheers. I'll slap it on now. Oh, look, ding.
Mm.
Muscle picking on Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Found a pipe.
Wow.
That once the tide reveals it, I mean, I was like thinking, oh, they might be good. I hope there's some there when he told me about it. Honestly, carpets of them.
Wow.
Carpets of them on this pipe.
Where?
All of them that we got were about, okay, between that and the end of my finger long. All
Where?
of them. This was in St Anne's, near Lytham. Down the road from Blackpool, in Lancashire.
Aye.
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 Over there.
Aye.
Over there. And they were delicious. We got kilos of them. We must have eaten 4 bowls each on the Wednesday night of my birthday. I mean, like a bowl.
Did you have to pay to pick them?
Hmm?
Did you have to pay to pick them?
No. No. Off you go. Forage away.
Mushrooms.
Wild mussels. Yeah, I suppose. Aren't they all? But yeah. It's not a farm.
It wasn't a farm.
They just grow on the pipe. So you just go on, pick them, scrape off all the barnacles. That's a bit of work. That's really the work you have to put in to get your mussels. They can tear your hands to bits. You've got to be careful. Only got kind of one good scratch.
What kind of pipe was it that they were growing on? It wasn't a sewage pipe, was it?
It was an outlet pipe.
Sewage outlet.
Could have been. Really.
Oh, dear. Hmm.
You do know that shrimps and stuff live off shit, don't you?
Bottom feeders.
They eat shit.
Human shit.
Mussels are kind of the same, but it's not like the area is stinking with it. There's fresh water that comes out and runs out by it from the river Niddle or Liddle or something. Nibby.
Sounds appetizing.
Delicious, mate. They were the best mussels I've ever had.
Nice.
And as I say, we had 4 bowls each, and it was a generous bowl. If you got that in a restaurant, you'd be like,
wow. Yeah.
look at the size of them.
Sexy.
Still alive, so they must have been healthy.
So this fucking mansion, can you climb up the side of the platform and get up on it?
There's pretty much, well, by vehicle, there's only one way in.
Hmm.
And
By foot?
if you're on foot,
And you don't want to use the driveway.
there's a steep wooded path. If you want to go by foot, there's a wooded path, but it's steep.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to keep 2 areas guarded.
Sounds like it. They are the only two access points. Everywhere else, kind of crazy to attempt it.
Pretty much.
Two.
Yeah.
Should really watch.
So boys.
So we get a position, we might be able to sort of see 180 degrees.
Yeah, let's go and check that out.
Mrs. Gubbins walks every day up from the village to the manor to do her work. She does a 12-hour shift
Damn.
at the manor.
And she takes the wooded path.
She does it. She walks off. She walks from the village.
Does she use the wooden path?
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm going to find her.
Okay.
and
Oh,
speak to
dearie.
her.
Oh, dearie. What can I do for you? She's in her kitchen. She's in the kitchen.
Right. Oh, sorry, I've forgotten her name. What did you say?
Gubbins.
Mrs. Gubbins.
Teresa Gubbins.
Mrs. Gubbins, I understand that of a morning and of an evening, you take the wooden stairs to exit the manor. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a wooded
Wooded
path.
path. Yeah,
Yeah.
the wooded path. I would ask. I would ask that you don't use it. In fact, when your shift ends, it would be a pleasure for us to take you home rather than let you walk. These are dangerous times and there could be a murderer in the area. And Mrs. Gubbins, I would be mortified if anything happened to you.
Well, thank you, dearie. I'll let you know when I want to leave.
Fabulous. Good. I'm so glad you accepted it. Accepted straight away. Good. Thank you. I don't have to argue with you to save your life.
Did you check her pockets, Tulip? She might have the gem on her.
Mrs. Gubbins, by the way, you haven't seen any kind of shiny green objects around in your travels, have you?
It's funny you should say that, but no, I haven't.
Really? So I think we should go and check out.
What time does your shift end tonight? Oh, it's around about 8.
8
She
o'clock.
woke me up at 8 in the morning, didn't she? Because I didn't sleep too well.
She normally comes in at 8 and leaves at 8.
I shall make sure and make sure that everything's fine for you about 8 o'clock, and I'll come back and divulge this with Devon and check that it's okay for Mercy to do that.
What about Mr.
I
Cole?
automatically assume because it's not my NPC.
What about Wesley?
Huh?
What about Wesley? She says. Wesley Cole, the gardener?
Does he do the same thing?
Well, he's normally in the George by 5 of the evening, but he gets here about an hour before I do.
Where is he now?
How long is his shift? Is he?
Probably be pottering around in the garden.
Tulip. I think we should go and check out the wooded area, the way up, see what it looks like, and talk to the gardener. Tell him to stay longer.
Okay, if you're going to check and do the gardener, I ask Devon whether he's willing to wait until Mrs. Nuggins
Gubbins.
is ready to go as well. If not, we might have to ask Mercy to do 2 trips.
Why don't you come with me?
Okay.
So, okay.
We go outside looking for the gardener.
Yeah, you find him.
Do you want me?
Yeah, can I help you, sir?
Wow, yeah, sure you can. What time do you finish today?
Well, I normally end up leaving her about 4 o'clock.
Right, and how do you get home? Do you take the wooded area here? Or? you go by the bridge?
Well, it takes me boy.
Right.
So he has to go over the bridge and take
Yeah,
the
even
road.
on foot. Even on foot, you have to go over the bridge.
Oh, I'm confused. You just confused me saying that. I thought there was access to the actual Sleepmore Manor by this wooded path, which meant that you wouldn't.
Which meets the road at the bridge. So both paths, the road and the wooded path converge at the bridge, and that's the only way into the manor.
Beautiful.
The bridge. Yeah.
Perfect.
Unless you want to like use rope and shit to get to get to the manor in other ways.
Right.
Can't see an entity puppeteering somebody climbing.
So,
it's not going to be an
so we found the gardener, so I say to him, listen, right, there's a murderer on the loose, possibly coming to this here manor. Do you think it's safe you going off today? Maybe you should stay here the night.
No. All we need to do is ask you to wait until Mrs. Gubbins has finished, and at 8 o'clock, you can both be driven back to the village.
Well, I suppose I could do that. I could do that.
It is for your own safety. That's for you. And we might be being overcautious, but we like being overcautious. It means that less people can get hurt.
He nods sagely. That's one of his skills.
Sagacious
nodding sagely.
Oh, nice. Lovely. Now we're gonna have a good look at that path and just see how easy it is. Walk down the path.
It's steep. There's trees on either side. Quite thick undergrowth on either side. It hasn't been really well maintained, but every now and then there's like branches, like windfall from the trees on the path.
But Mrs. Gubbins circumnavigates this no problem every day and never complains. Right, okay. So if it was really bad, she would ask the gardener to come and clear something if it was that bad. So. And how old is Mrs. Gubbins again? 50 odd?
48.
Okay,
a couple of years older than the gardener.
In those days, 58 or 48 could be relatively old then.
Yeah, but she walks up to the village daily to work at the manor.
Okay. Well, we'll be able to assess, myself and Devon, after we've walked it. How far down? When does this wooden path end? How long is it?
15-minute walk before you get to the road that leads to the village.
Okay. I think our best vantage point would be back where this path ends, and it's at the gates.
If only we could blow up the bridge when he was on it.
Wow, we'd need some dynamite for that.
No, yeah, true.
Well, I guess it's going to be another stakeout. I'm mighty relieved that we got back in time.
Seemingly. Wait, should we check the secret area? Just to be sure.
You mean the secret room?
I go upstairs
you-
to the library.
15 minutes. Yeah, it won't take long.
Go.
Okay, you go to the secret room.
Mhm.
There's no one there.
It's empty. Good. Fuck off out. Just in case he might have snuck in. Never
Back
know.
out, and we will.
I
keep
got my
going.
shotgun out. Yeah, sitting by the car. I've
do you
asked
think?
Mercy. Actually, I've asked Mercy to turn the car around so the headlights will point at the bridge.
Like it. I was thinking about doing something with the car, but I couldn't think of something.
Okay, don't need the headlights at the moment though. It's
No.
it's 2 p.m.
Not now. We don't.
We've got provisions.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Tulip. He comes here. He's going to be mighty powered. The thing there is going to be able to tear us to shreds. If we kill him or incapacitate him somehow, we got the fear of the gem taking us over. I don't see a good scenario happening here, Tulip.
There are definitely obstacles that we need to overcome. Let's take it one step at a time at just trying to stop this thing.
While you're potting around in the grounds, you notice Webley leave the house and walk towards the gatehouse.
Okay.
Seems to have a few words with Croft. Is that his name?
Crown.
Crown. And then he comes back. Then Webley comes back to the manor, and Crown leaves, heading towards the village on foot.
Mm.
Dear foresight. Good luck.
Interesting. So I intercept him before he goes back to the manor.
In fact, no, he doesn't walk towards the village. He comes back to the manor with Webley.
Oh.
Okay.
Gets into the car that's in the driveway, and starts the car, but waits. And then Webley, after a few minutes, Webley comes out of the house.
I go up to
Into
them.
the car, and they drive off.
Oh.
Oh, can we flag them down before they?
Yeah, okay.
Where you boys going?
Well, you're going to go and have a look at the car.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Do come back though. We might need you here.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll come back here and after we've checked out the location of the car.
Right, and once you've seen that car, then you'll be more likely to believe our story, right?
That's
The fact that something's coming back here from Holland, from the Netherlands.
right. What's at the car that would
Well, why would that man want to come to this manor? The very first murder. The place of the very first murder. Why would that man there drive
Why
all the way
indeed?
here? Unless he was possessed.
No idea. No idea at all.
Right.
Is Constable Croker in the vicinity? I'll look round.
Yeah, he is.
Constable Croker, if you were on foot, exactly how long would it take you by foot to get from that point to here across the moors?
If you knew where you were going, if you knew the moors and you knew the if someone knows the area, maybe an hour, 2 hours, depending on the weather.
And let's say you don't.
Fucked.
Oh, I say, Constable Croker. Are you indeed?
Doesn't say fucked. He says buggered. Then he'd be most probably be buggered and lost on the moors.
Bugger the airline. What kind of creature does that? Well, let's
The moors,
consider
the moors
this.
can be quite dangerous if you don't know the where to go.
Indeed, but Devon, let's consider this. The entity already knows this area to a certain degree just by history of the boys buying it, them having the gem, and Belvedere leaving, so he'll have a local knowledge, I believe. Maybe take him a little longer, but I don't think that entity is gonna be bothered.
Sorry, just bio break.
It may be more than a few hours before he gets here.
Are you saying he should have been here by now?
I'm hoping to think that we're here just in time. That his approach is obviously yet to happen, but it could be sooner than we think, rather than later.
If we...
Oh, we never put our hand on the bonnet to feel if it was warm.
Why?
Then we'd know that it was recent or not. Cold, warm engine.
Of course.
Bollocks.
Damn.
I could have
Anyhow,
gone a frantic roll on that.
Tulip, if we see him, I think we should just shoot him. Don't ask no questions.
Oh, they haven't driven off yet.
Haven't they?
No, because I was talking to Croker to ask him about something, so they haven't strictly driven off yet. I'm going to ask them to put their hand on the engine to see if there's any heat left in it.
Might be a bit too late by now.
No, when he comes back, I say just before they drive off.
No, I mean, it might be cold by now, the engine.
I'm going to ask him to anyway.
Cool. If he ever gets back. Tulip, I still think we should ask no questions, just shoot the man. That gem's dangerous. Kick it into the ravine, bury it.
Well, I could maybe go along with that, so long as there is no law enforcement around. We're gonna have to mess around with the story. Oh, before you go, Inspector Webley, just take it away. I'll ask him to quickly check the heat, see if there's any heat left on the engine. We might be able to get an idea how long the car will be in there.
On the engine of the crashed car.
And I suggest if it's cold, get back here as soon as you can.
Okay, it was cold when you were there.
Oh, okay, thank you.
There you go. There you
So,
go.
yeah.
I don't say
Hi,
that.
Flynn.
Hello.
Oh, how cute he is.
A hound.
So cute.
Okay, they drive off then and do their thing.
Meanwhile, we'll stake out the bridge.
Staking out. How far down the wooden track can we see? Want a vantage point as like being able to see.
Well, you can probably got a good vantage point from one of the two towers of the manor.
I don't mind going up there to do that.
You can see the approaching road, but
What about the approaching path? That's
yeah, to a certain extent you can, yeah. You can get quite a good vantage point.
enough time to run downstairs and go get ready. Otherwise, the vantage point loses its advantage.
Yeah.
Hey, Tulip, did your grandpappy ever teach you to trap animals?
Obviously, it depends what
No,
attacking your manor.
but I have done some.
I wonder if we can put some kind of...
Change my roll, dice roll to a 15 and not the normal 10.
Nice. Shame we couldn't rig something up here, perhaps trap the guy.
Or maybe Mr. The gardener.
Giles?
Is it Giles?
Wesley,
Wesley? Maybe.
It's one of
Maybe
the Watchers.
one of the Watchers.
Yeah, from Buffy.
Yeah, Giles. Maybe Wesley could would know about traps.
True that.
I should go and ask him, or would you like to go and ask him? You thought of it.
I think we should head back up, take watch over the bridge, find him, and ask him.
We do that.
Okay. After chatting with the gardener, he's not really. That's not really my type of work. I'm a gardener,
Not a poacher.
Right.
not a gamekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It was worth a try.
It was.
Okay, so do you want to take the tower, or shall I?
I think we should just stay here.
Well, with my binoculars, from an advantage point up in the tower, if there's enough time for me to get downstairs to warn us, I think one of us should be up there.
Okay. Well, me and Mercy will stay by the bridge. I got my shotgun here.
Mercy, do you want to take hold of this gun at the moment? Till I come back? That's an open-ended question.
To who?
Well,
Mercy.
kind of to Mercy and Devon, and therefore to Mercy meaning to you,
Yusef.
you
Oh.
said.
Sorry, what was the question? I was reading the stream chat.
Fair enough. Mercy, would you like a 9mm auto while I'm upstairs?
Isn't that the Dutchman's gun?
She knows how to use a gun, though.
Yeah. Isn't that the Tinbergen's gun? She says.
It is. Would you prefer I keep it, or ask him if I can hand it to you?
Maybe you should keep it, Tulip.
Okay.
You'll probably need it more than me.
I said, skip off.
She says with a right smile.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll bet. Has she got better than 20%?
What? Handguns?
Mm.
Is that what you've got? 20%?
Yeah. As far as this one says.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Okay. Anyway, off I run. Upstairs.
Okay, so Tulip, you're on the upper floor of the tower,
Yep.
the west tower.
I've taken sandwiches, a pie, and some drink.
So from Vanessa's bedroom, you can see the gatehouse. You've got quite a good vantage of what's in front of the manor, which includes the driveway where the cars are parked and the approach from the gatehouse.
Perfect. I'll place a cushion on the window ledge, and open the window, so I can sit on the window ledge with my binoculars every now and again, taking a good peer, taking a good look. That'll be my kind of MO.
Devon, where are you?
I'm by the car. Actually, I'm sitting in the car looking ahead at the bridge with Mercy.
Okay.
Whatever Tim Burton's doing, he's doing. And Vanessa, whatever she's doing, she's doing.
Where was he? So I appraise. I guess he's been with us the whole time and knows what's going on, or do I need to appraise him?
No, he knows. He knows what's going on. He'll probably situate himself in Prothero's room and look the other way out of the tower, northwards. If you look at the map of the manor, there's 3 windows on the other side of the upper floor to where Tulip is.
Brilliant.
Gives you. In fact, you can see the moors are north and west of the manor. He's got a good view of the moors, more so than you have.
Brilliant.
You've got the approach to the house, and he's got the view of the moors.
To the approach, the wooden path.
Not necessarily the approach, but he's got a good view of the moors from the north side of the manor.
Cool.
Nice.
Sort of covers another base.
Seeing as he's coming up there with him, I'll get provisions that will keep 2 of us sorted for a bit, so that Vanessa isn't running down the stairs all the time, or Mrs. Gubbins or whatever.
Okay, Neil, you keep muting.
Yeah. Because I keep coughing.
Oh, okay.
I did the same thing earlier on. I realised I was coughing and it was ruining Yusef's bloody chat. It's like, mute yourself, you twat.
Yeah. So we're waiting.
Throw some light on the situation.
Okay, so is that what you were planning on doing for the rest of the day?
Yep.
Okay.
Does this glare too much, by the way, Neil? On the
It's fine.
No, it's fine.
right.
Okay. So the rest of the day passes by without any occurrence.
So the Inspector Webley doesn't come back.
Get
back from the car.
After a couple of hours, Webley and Crown, what's his name? Crown, yeah.
Yep.
After a couple of hours, Webley and Crown come back to Sleepmore Manor.
I must see them when they come in because I'm in the car.
Yeah, you do.
So I get out, wait for them to exit their car.
Okay.
Say, "Ha! So you saw the car then?"
Yes, we found the vehicle. It was indeed like you said.
Right. And why'd you figure this man's coming here? What business he's got here?
I'm not sure, to be honest. You seem to believe that he's coming here. Obviously, he was heading in this direction before his car ran out of petrol. But your guess is as good as mine as to why he's coming here.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so. I think our guess is a lot better than yours as to why he's coming back here.
Says Tulip in Vanessa's
Please
room.
elaborate. Please elaborate. He's shouting up at the top of the tower.
All right, shit. Come on, Neil, can't you say that, goddammit?
Funny.
Is as good as mine. Fuck.
I guess it is, Inspector.
Ooh. You cagey bugger. Now, me, I'd tell it how it is, and I'd say, no, I don't think so.
So nothing untoward's happened in the village?
No.
No?
Oh.
Strange. Well, I'm just gonna wait here.
I'm still at a loss to work out why you would think that he would be coming back.
Tell him because this is where it all started.
Well, this is where it all started, right? I mean, the only other place of interest that these boys had was the church. He could have headed there. I mean, why else would he come back here to this very village? Crash right outside. Well, not crash. Run out of petrol right outside.
Well, I think we'll leave Constable Croker here with you to keep an eye on the manor and round back to the village. Eyes open there.
Good idea.
And we'll come back tomorrow morning, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
And what's developed, if anything.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So he and Crown drive off back towards the village. In fact, they hang around for a while and they give Gubbins and Cole a lift back into the village
Good idea.
at about 6 o'clock in the evening.
Nice.
Gubbins breaks up early. I like it.
If this guy isn't coming to this mansion, could he be headed to the church? This Peter Davey. I mean, we're presuming he's going to come back here, but he could go back to anywhere in the village. The only other place of interest these boys had was the church, right?
There could be any number of places on the moors.
Some secret area. Somewhere we haven't been.
No, we only spoke to the vicar about it. We didn't go there, did we?
We didn't actually go to the church.
No. No, we didn't look for any tombstones that... Wait a minute. I do remember looking at the church because we were looking at anything that was old, kind of monumental in build. Do you remember that? Or was that in Amsterdam?
We did go to one in Amsterdam, but we went to one here as well.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, there is a church in the village. Yeah, you spoke to the vicar.
Yeah, regarding it, yeah.
Reverend Whidden.
That's right.
Because this dude should be here by now.
Yes, this douche should be here by now. Takes in Reverend Whidden. Graveyard. Vicar said graveyard and finding them attractive. Thankfully, there's not a lot of living people in the graveyard.
No. But that's
And
where they could be making the body.
But there's a lot of living people here. What, you mean the body of De Winter?
No, in the Black Latin letters it says that I will remake my body anew.
Yeah.
From the scraps and the orts and
Shards.
Now, where are you going to get that from? Unless you kill a load of people, get that from a morgue or a fucking cemetery.
Have been killed recently in the last few months.
This is true.
Oh my God. You could be absolutely right, and we need to be at the graveyard.
Should we split up?
No.
I mean, if we go to the graveyard and he ends up here,
Okay. Do you think ultimately he has to come back here? The ritual? Because again, that's still... We can just stay here and wait.
I have
Well,
no idea.
I know, I don't know whether to preempt him getting his shards and patches and attacking while he's... Well, I mean,
He could go anywhere really to get bodies. He wouldn't have to come necessarily back to here.
maybe there'd have to be bodies that were destroyed by the jam.
Right, but what I'm saying is why is he coming back to this little village? It has to be this mansion. It has to be that room.
It has to be.
I guess we just wait, right?
I think we should just wait. Bide our time and be patient.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, I've got an idea. What about this? We do know this jam ends up killing the people that are holding it. What if it was nearing the time that this person was going to be killed, so he had to seek out someone else? Maybe he's gone to another house and waiting for the gem to be possessed. He's waiting for someone to find the body or something.
We couldn't even assume to know who that could be. Again, waiting here still feels like the best thing.
Right.
If you can think of... I mean, I'll try and troubleshoot what you got, but so far, here is still the essential thing to do. For fear of missing him, if anything else. Because he may have already got his patches and shards and is on his way from the graveyard now, and we head to the graveyard just as he's leaving it. And, oh, no, we don't want that to happen.
True. We'll stay here then.
Yeah. After a little conflab at, like, say, what? 5 o'clock to compare notes, I'll run down. This is me catching up also with what Webley said and what he's doing.
Okay.
Hold on a sec, I just got to check my dog. Carry on.
Right, okay.
Didn't hear any of that.
I'll have to do some roleplay with him.
Grayson? 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 What was it?
So Prothero's going to tell you what's going to happen with the auction once Neil's back.
Good boy.
Just so you know, we're just sort of gone through. I've headed to the graveyard to pick up his patches and stuff, but still being here is his ultimate destination. So rather than go there and miss him coming out, we've decided to stay here. Yeah. What else, Neil? Oh yeah. Also, Devon suggested that they could be waiting to do another murder, just to sort of like top up his shards and patches. But again, we couldn't second guess as to who the victim could be. So again, it means staying here is the best thing for us.
Okay.
Devon, having told me that Webley and Mr. Crown have gone back to the village, maybe they would be on site if there was a murder attempt. At least we have that.
Mm-hmm. Let's just wait here, see what comes through that bridge.
Okay. And once the light has disappeared and we can no longer look out the window, because there's going to be points when it's twilight and you can't see anything approaching.
Yeah.
At that point, I will come back down and join you.
Right.
Okay. Maybe for evening meal.
Mm-hmm.
So I go back upstairs. I rejoin Pete Timbergen and tell him the Inspector Whitley and his sidekick. They're in the village, and just in case of anything happening, because we do have a murderer around, we'll stay here till we can't see anything anymore, and then we'll join them downstairs after a meal or something and continue the watch. Ultimately, through all possibilities, we still think that staying here, his final destination is the best thing to move forward. Be patient,
Okay.
which is always difficult.
Okay. Over dinner, Prothero says, explains the format of the auction. So the day before the auction,
2 seconds, Yusuf. 2 seconds.
we should be expecting.
Go.
We should be expecting the auctioneer to arrive within the next few days before the auction with his assistants and secretary, Mrs. Dulcet. They'll probably, I'm expecting them the day before the auction. So on the 14th.
Right.
Bollocks. I've lost track of days, but anyway, we'll just keep to the dates. It's the evening of the 11th now. So, yes, so we'll be expecting Grisby and his staff to arrive on the 14th. And we'll be setting up the auction on that day, allowing any potential buyers to peruse the books before the auction. So between now and then, we're not really going to be expecting any more visitors.
Okay.
So there's, yeah.
Well, there's that.
And what will happen will probably most of the literature will be on general display, but the older books and the lots from the print and occult sections of the catalogue, I will only allow viewing of those items if requested. They will be viewed in the kitchen area of the manor.
Okay. I know where I'll be sleeping. You're muted, Mark.
And then the next day, the auction will take place.
Right.
And may I ask, Mr. Prothero, what kind of security measures have you taken if somebody was wanting to just grab a book and run away?
Well, I wasn't really expecting any trouble, to be honest. But Webley and his man and the constable will be on hand, and of course you two and Inspector Timbergen will be here as well.
That is true.
I've left it up to Webley to bring in any more constabulary if you think it's necessary.
We should probably have a better idea in the next few days of how we'll be able to move forward.
Indeed.
This is a waiting game.
Yourself, Mr. Prothero, on on anything that's happening at the moment? Is there any information that you've missed, or what we are planning to do?
There is something that I, the GM, missed. When Webley came back from the car from the drive to the moors, they came back. He said, "Well, yeah, we found a band that normally wraps around bundles of notes, bundles of money notes. So it's a money band, which definitely alludes to the fact that whoever robbed the bank in Thirst used this car."
As we thought.
And he's the suspect in the murder, so there's the link openly.
Again, Webley's still not really sure why he would come back. But they're erring on caution, so
yeah. Let's just wait it out then until we see this guy.
So that night, are you going to take any watches over during the night?
Yeah.
Okay. How is the watch going to format it?
Well, I've got nothing else. They're all wet. I've just thought over it. Made all much.
What, Mark?
Right, sorry. I was assuming that we were going to take watch from the car.
Yes.
With its high beams, would have a better advantage point once we heard somebody approaching.
Yeah.
Ping, find them, bang. We want it just the three of us now. Devon, Mercy, and myself.
What about Timbergen?
Yeah, what about Timbergen?
Yeah, Timbergen as well. He'd probably be happy to shoot first.
You what?
We're going to have a little discussion with Timbergen regarding our approach, our educated approach.
Okay, you're going to give him back his gun?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Nice.
So, we want you to be on the same page as myself and Devon. We fear the man himself, being possessed, is already lost to the entity. And should we see this poor creature approach, we would prefer to shoot and ask questions later, before he tears us apart.
Well, we got two options really, Tulip. Number one option is we let him go back to that secret room unhindered, no one gets in his way, and then we kill him there. And we lock up that place forever. Because there's no way we could control that jam. As long as it's out of the reach of people, we're fine. Or, when he gets to the bridge, we gun him down, and we bury that jam in that ravine down there somehow.
How do you suggest we get him to the ravine?
On the bridge, he's got to come across it. We shoot him.
You mean the moat?
Pardon?
You mean the moat?
The moat, that's right. The dry moat. What do you suggest?
How do you suggest we keep him in the moat?
Well, once he's fallen, he's probably gonna die, right? We just cover him in rocks.
I suppose that's one way of doing it.
The idea of being able to lock the gem and the entity and whatever in the room, sounds like the best case scenario we could have. But it would require us to not be around or leave access to it available
Uh-huh.
in such a way that we could get access quickly afterwards. The logistics I'm not sure of. I would love to trap him down there.
Let's just check the map.
Why do you think that he would want to go into secret room? What's there that would want him to go there?
It's the only place I could figure he wants to get back to. Otherwise, I see no reason. I don't know why. Well, that's where we found all the bodies before. And
He's either back for the book or the book and the room.
Which book?
I would guess the Albrecht Marxrammer book.
Okay. But that won't be in the room, in the secret room. That'll be, well, that would be on display, wouldn't it, during the auction?
Mm-hmm.
There was a ritual to bring together bits and pieces to stuff an entity's soul into. Would that kind of magic spell be in that book, or would it be in, say, one of the other books that contains a myriad of spells?
Who are you asking?
I'm casting this out mainly to Devon. But
Okay, so Vanessa, Prothero, and Tinbergen are all present.
that's fine. I don't mind them hearing my thoughts. I tend to stream my conscious thoughts.
Well, what I'd say to that, Tulip, is this, the man, what was his name?
Peter Davy?
No, the Dutch guy.
Brecht Marxrammer?
Marxrammer, that's right. Well, I presume he already knows how to get himself out of that jade jam.
Do you think he knows the spell already and the ritual?
I'm sure of it.
And just needs a part of the ritual?
Hmm?
And just needs a place for the ritual to take place?
Yeah.
In the room. And here.
Somewhere that's been prepared.
I don't want some of the bodies in that we got rid of. May be a nasty shock for him to not find them there.
Yeah. I mean, they must have done something while they had that gem for that length of time they did.
Without realizing it, they were preparing patches and shards.
Mm-hmm. There's got to be a ritual significance. Let's come back here.
Maybe the entity wasn't satisfied with what De Winter and Belvedere was bringing to him as shards and patches and said, I want more. And then he ripped De Winter apart.
Maybe.
You know, the escalation of it, how it,
Or just got out of hand. They couldn't control it no more. The hounds were following them.
The entity enticed them with knowledge and power, and then wanted more and more and then more, till it comes a point where it would destroy either of them, and they were in love with each other. So it would defeat the purpose of why they did this together in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that would go right against what Mr. Marxrammer wanted. Oh, something I realized, the The other day, while I was looking at my journal,
Uh-huh.
I discovered the name of the entity in the library, the worm wizard that we keep calling him. I discovered I'd written his name down.
Well, what was it?
Would you like it?
Uh-huh.
It was. Tell me when you're ready to write it. No. It was Al Abaz
Yeah.
Ibn
Mm-hmm.
Rasid.
What?
Rasid.
Ras-
R-E-S for sugar. I-D-E.
Right. Reside.
These names?
Al-Abaz Ibn Rasid is the name of the worm wizard in the library. So now when we talk about the knowledge of this guy that we'll be able to go, Al-Abaz
Gotcha.
instead of worm wizard.
Thanks.
You got it. That was right at the back.
Sweet.
Oh, yes, that's right. And we asked him, what will you do with the knowledge? And we got no reply. All we knew was he will be reading for a few more years yet before he was ready to leave the library.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm really glad I wrote that down,
Mm.
especially his name. I was like, oh, fuck, great, his name.
Nice bit of lore.
Yeah, so that's your friendly librarian you've got up your sleeve, mate.
My mate. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Probably one of the most powerful entities on this plane of existence.
That we've met anyway.
I don't know if you'd meet any more powerful on this plane of existence than him with all that knowledge.
Well,
He's
yeah.
got he's been there for like eons or something, hundreds, if not nearly 1,000 odd years.
Can't quite remember.
You're
Anywho,
still talking about the worm wizard.
he is, yeah.
Without being affected by an outside entity, from another plane of existence, demon, spirit, or whatever, he's probably the most powerful earthbound entity on the planet, in my guesstimation.
Who
On sheer
knows?
knowledge. I think if he came out and wanted to take over, he'd be able to do it.
Yeah, probably.
But apparently, Yusef, you said he will be reading for a few more years yet before he's ready to leave. A few more years.
Fair few.
That could be in our lifetime.
But anyway, so what are we planning? Are we going to let this thing across the bridge, try and get the secret room, trap it there if it goes to the secret room? Or are we going to shoot it at the bridge?
All right, well, here's the thing. If we're to allow him access, we'll have to be withdrawn out of sight of the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Get the creep on it.
Possibly nobody in the house at all, and that we all stick together
Mm-hmm.
for that plan.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind that if we're all together.
Yeah, if it goes awry, doesn't go to the room, we can shoot it. Wherever it is.
That's right, without the worry that he was going to get to Vanessa or Mr. Prothero or anyone that's staying in the house or watching from the house.
Mm-hmm. What say you, Tim? Bergen?
What do you think, Inspector? Do you like the sound of that?
I was half.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we want everybody together outside the house where we are in our vantage point, hidden, it is gonna be uncomfortable. So maybe we can park the car
A little way away.
around the corner of the house and people can be in the car
Or the shed, the golden shed.
or the shed, but whatever it is, we all have to be outside the house for to allow the entity to get access to its secret room,
Then follow it.
and then follow it, of course.
Kill it.
I will defer to your experience in these strange matters. So yeah, I will. I think that's good enough plan. If you think that's the way to do it.
Well, my reasoning behind it is what Devon and I have been talking about the whole time, is basically containing this thing without becoming contaminated ourselves. So if we were to, let's say this thing came at us and we justifiably killed it, how would we remove or get rid of the gem without coming into contact with it?
Right.
By touching the body, could it transfer? We have no idea of this, and we would probably prefer not to touch it at all, and that's the best way of doing it.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good plan.
And then, once it's trapped, we get someone to brick up that secret room and brick up that secret wall. And we buy this place and we keep everyone away from it.
In fact, we will underground it and cement it. Sorry, Youssef, say that again.
You intend to bid for the manor?
Well, if we trap that thing in here, I do.
It may be pertinent that we do. We could also secure the room a lot better. Maybe we could take the brick down and then fill it with reinforced concrete.
Okay, if you think it's necessary, we'll have to do that.
Well, we've not been doing this very long, but we've had a bit of experience, and we have discovered that you can't be too careful in containing something that has powers that are beyond our understanding. You cannot be too careful in the containment of it. And by that alone, I do believe it is extremely necessary we do it.
This is a dangerous artifact. Can't be found by anyone.
Okay.
So we will set about setting that all up. Whether people want to be in the shed or not, or in the car. And the car will be at a point that's hidden and not accessible when you go to the house, or seeable when you want to get into the house.
And we're still keeping watch on the bridge.
We shall still be keeping watch on the bridge.
It'd be hard to hide a car in the driveway where for it to go.
Are you saying there's nowhere that can be driven on the green of the grounds?
Yeah, I suppose you could drive it into the overgrown garden and then sort of cover it with bushes and stuff.
At the go-ahead of the lady of the house.
But it probably won't. It'll have to be really well hidden to be noticed. Hey, look, there's a car hidden, covered in undergrowth.
I think it'd be fine where it is.
All right. Maybe the shed might be a best place for everybody to go.
If things get hot, we can just get in the car and drive off.
I take it we can see the approach.
There's quite a number of places individuals can hide without being seen, but can keep an eye out people approaching the manor.
Okay.
Well, we'll be
Where's
there.
the safest place, though? If that will be inside the shed.
You've got the East Tower, which is, you can hide yourself in the East Tower and have a good view of the driveway we approach to the manor from there.
I'd like the civilians, so to speak, to be in the safest spot, first and foremost. After that, we can think about where we are going to take up our positions to do the watching.
Where do you think the safest spot would be?
You have a better idea of the grounds. I don't know where the hut is in relation to the grounds or the gate.
The furthest away from the secret room would be the best place.
So nowhere in the manor then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anyone in the manor.
They can stay in the shed.
Except for the people that might be on guard or watching.
Yeah, there's 4 of us watching, and Vanessa, Probish. There's only them 2, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's you two, Tim Bergen, Prothero, and Vanessa, and
Mercy.
Croker.
And Croker, yes.
Constable Croker.
He could stay with the civilians.
You can stay with what?
The civilians, maybe? Probish and...
Probish, Vanessa,
Bro, Vanessa, Croker, then you 3, including Tim Bergen. Sorry, you 3, Tim Bergen.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that Prothero and Vanessa, they're the civilians. They're the ones we want to make sure are safe.
Mm-hmm.
The rest are law enforcement and us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Croker could stay with them.
Where?
In the shed.
Wherever we feel is going to be the safest place, not in the house. The shed. Is the shed reasonable?
Shed, yeah. I suppose so.
I'm going to fucking stuff them in there.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. Fucking get in.
And we'll hide by the bridge.
Remain quiet. In his provisions. Shh. Here's a blanket, keep warm. Here's a pillow, in case you need to get a little bit of sleep. Under no circumstances leave till we say so.
Okay, and we're going to be doing this tonight, tomorrow.
Now. And forever.
Now until... I believe that kind of thing is going to happen in the evening. I think during the day, we'll just keep a loose watch, but for the better part, this is going to be our default position.
Okay. Okay, you do that for the evening. What's that?
What?
Oh,
You're eating.
wonder what.
Oh, what you saw, my cheese sticks.
Oh.
Oh, right. Look like lasagna. Okay.
I need to pee. Be right back.
Cheese sticks. The sustenance for adventurers. All alone. Sweet monster.
Yeah. No. I saw Laura earlier. Asked her if she'd heard from the police.
Alright.
She goes, no, not Digger.
No, fuckers, aren't they? Right, so I'll pull that out. Take the piss. That dry finish, or did you turn it off this week?
No, I didn't turn anything.
Right. So this tomorrow now, or when?
Oh, he's making a coffee. I should have made one. Nice.
Okay.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
the rest of the evening continues without any disturbance or encounter,
Jesus fuck.
and you find yourself at Sleepmore Manor in the morning of the 12th of March. Three days till the auction.
Damn.
Well, I suppose it's better to be safe than sorry,
Hmm.
but I'm sorry nothing happened.
Every time, Vanessa. Every time's better safe than sorry. Every day of the week.
So what's our plan for today?
I don't know. I can't say I'm not disappointed. I am disappointed.
Oh, back in a sec.
Sure. Oh, we have to go into town see if anything's happened. Can you go with Mercy? I'll stay here.
Happy to.
Hmm?
No, why don't you go, mate? I've actually had a lot of chat time,
Hmm.
air time today. So maybe you dive off and check it all
No,
out.
it's fine. You go. I'll stay here. I've got the shotgun.
Okay. Okay. She says.
You and Mercy. Go to the
So
truck.
I've lost track of what day it is. I know that.
Oh, so it was the 11th. Now it's the 12th.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, because we were kind of back on the 10th. This being the 12th.
He said he
No
knew
problem.
he knew what date it was, but not what day.
I know, mate. You said it's the morning of the 12th.
No, what day? Is it Wednesday, Thursday?
Oh, who knows? Let me have a look, see if I can find a day with a date. I should have.
Bless him.
Oh yeah, we looked at what the 10th of March was.
Oh yeah, we did on Google.
And I didn't write it down.
We're missing
The
something.
27th. No, wait a minute.
No, I've got the 10th of March, and that was a.
No notes on what.
We're so missing something, I swear.
No idea what day it is.
Oh, it was a Wednesday on the 10th, so it's Friday, mate.
Friday now.
Yeah.
If it's
Friday
the
the
12th.
12th.
Shit. Tulip, I think you should go with Mercy into the village, see what's happening. I'll stay here with a gun.
All right. Okay.
Don't know what Inspector Tim Burgin wants to do.
What are your intentions?
Well, I want to just find out and make sure everything is okay in the village.
Okay.
That there were no murders, hopefully, and no desecration of any tombs.
How are you going to get to the village? Mercy in the car.
Yeah.
Staying at the manor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, Vanessa says, expresses an... I'd like to... I've been stuck in this house for too long. A change of scenery would be nice.
By all means, Vanessa, come along with me.
Okay.
I guess right now.
So you and Vanessa,
Me, Vanessa, and Mercy.
Charlie's Angels.
Bergen, do you... yeah, Tim Bergen said... wait, when did Tim Bergen... No, okay, so Tim Bergen and you and Vanessa and Mercy go to...
Mm.
I'm sorry, what?
Tim Bergen stays at the manor with Devon.
Right.
Okay. Friday. Drive down to the village.
8 o'clock in the morning. After breakfast, dive off at about 8:30, 9 o'clock
Okay.
to the village.
Gubbins arrives at about 8 o'clock in the morning. She doesn't have anything to say regarding activities in the village, so you presume nothing's happened. Otherwise, she'd be telling you. And you go to the village.
The village anyway. Not sure now.
Oh, it's up to you.
Yeah. Vanessa, you did express a need to kind of leave the place for a little while. Maybe we could take a little drive into the village anyway.
Okay. That would be nice.
Let's see now. Is there anywhere in particular you like to go?
Well, I've been meaning to answer an invitation. And Miss Mellington, she's been wanting me to come and visit the shop for a while now, and I haven't had the time to see her.
Well, isn't this the perfect opportunity?
But I'm not that keen on seeing her. She's a bit of a
An old, a busybody?
she's always asking intrusive questions and seems to want to know everything about everyone. but it's only polite that I should what's the word? Reciprocate her reputation for tea.
So she's a busybody then.
Yes. Well,
I've got
everyone want to meet me, being the new lady of the manor, so to speak.
Of course. So what kind of questions has she asked you that have made you feel uncomfortable before?
Oh,
Oh, I can't hear any of that. I couldn't hear any of that. I looked up and saw them speaking.
it's not really the type of questions that she asks. It's just the quantity of questions. It can be quite straining on, quite a strain to keep up with her. I'm
So-
sure you'll know what I mean once you meet her.
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm going to meet a nosy busybody that is quite harmless.
Yes. Oh, yes. I suppose she knows a lot about the area, though, so she might be worth speaking to. I haven't really met her.
You haven't really met her
Properly.
properly. Well, then let's go and get this ordeal over with. Let's say we have a signal between us, and that when you feel you've had enough, you could give me some kind of a code, and I will find a reason for us to go. No, I didn't hear any of that, buddy.
Okay, what do you suggest? Is that because there's a boiler behind me?
Oh, yes, maybe.
Because there is background noise at the moment. Someone's running the hot water.
Curse them.
Curses.
Curse them and their evolutions.
Curse them with their evolutions and their hygienic ways. Let's see, what would be a fun, fitting, discreet signal? Oh, I have an idea. Turn to me and ask me whether the kedgeree is repeating on me.
Okay.
Oh, kedgeree should be very memorable for a woman of her standing.
Last night's kedgeree.
Yeah, no, the morning's kedgeree, breakfast.
Okay.
Breakfast thing. I believe it's like scrambled eggs and fish together.
Okay.
Like one of
Rice.
those.
Rice and
Okay.
fish.
Okay, I'll do that.
That'll
Shall
be
we make a luck roll on the way to the village?
Oh, all right.
Please get it.
Oh, you're so lucky. You just bumped into Peter Davey.
Yeah.
That's lucky. 51, isn't it? 64.
Oh,
Failure. I can't use luck, can I?
not on luck.
Okay, so you leave. It's a bit overcast when you leave the. There's a downpour.
Okay. Why doesn't your countryside look beautiful in the rain?
I don't particularly like it, to be honest. I prefer the milder climate of the continent.
You know, it's almost novel.
The warmer climate of of the continent.
Yeah, it's for me. It's almost novel to see this kind of rain. I hark from the south,
Oh,
but
it's such a terrible bore. The English weather.
oh, I'm sorry.
Country would be such a nicer place without the rain.
But surely, if you got rid of the rain, that would remove the variety of the weather, and therefore making it more boring. I would say that we have more boring weather because all it is sunshine all the time. We don't get any kind of changes of climate, sudden changes, that keep things interesting, maybe a little annoying. I guess it's a state of perspective, I guess.
I suppose so. I suppose if you're used to it, I guess.
I mean, come on, who doesn't love a really good storm with lightning and thunder and all of that good stuff?
I find it so tiresome.
Oh. While you were on the Riviera, so you're a sun worshipper, I guess then.
I suppose you could call.
What are the kind of things you get up to over there?
Let me see now. She says without pausing, looking at her character sheet. Don't understand what Claw's saying. Can you do you understand what he's alluding to, Neil? The tweet.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah,
Some sound on my end.
You're saying, is someone playing a game in the background, or DM dropping hints there is a ghoul in the room?
It's something I was some sounds on my end you could hear. Yeah, it was stopped now.
Hold on.
So yeah, what do you get up to over there? I mean, I'm sure a girl like you has plenty of adventure.
Oh, skiing mostly. I do like to ski. See, in Switzerland, the weather can be quite sunny, but because of the altitude, there's lots of snow, and it's perfect for skiing.
Have you ever thought of doing it professionally and racing?
No, why would I want to do that?
Well, you could become the first woman to beat a man in an event. You could be a lady champion in your own right.
No, that's not really what I like about skiing.
Is it fun?
There was one such my skiing instructor, Pierre. Very nice man. I suppose I'm more interested in him than actually skiing, now that you mention it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Just thinking to myself, raging hormones, on heat. Overprivileged.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Come on,
Okay,
Selma and Louise, get on with it.
Yeah, I know, right? So we're there, we get to the village, everything's okay, good. Back to you, Neil.
Okay. Neil,
I'm just
are
waiting
you doing
here.
it, Anna?
Nope, just waiting.
Okay, so back to the village.
Miss Millington.
Miss Millington, yes. there's her shop over there. It's an antique, like a village antique shop. She takes a deep breath and opens the door and walks in. Ding, ding. Behind a desk at in the shop. The shop's full of knickknacks and typical English knickknacks and bric-a-brac and antique sort of stuff. There's like a mid-40s lady. She sort of looks up from some sort of book that she has. She immediately smiles and he goes, Mr. Winter, finally, you've taken me up on my offer. Who's this? She says. Miss Mellington, this is, allow me to, Tulip Jones. She's here for the auction and she's staying at the manor with us. Pleased to meet you, Miss Jones. Please come in. Would you like a cup of tea?
Likewise. I think I might. Thank you.
She leads you. Oh, please, this way. She leads you into the back of the shop, and there's like a little kitchen dining area, and she what? A parlour. Yeah. And she puts on the kettle, and she says, "Please sit down. So tell me, Vanessa, you don't mind me calling you by your first name, do you?" And without allowing Vanessa to answer, she continues. So how is life at the manor? I hope you're settling in okay. I suppose you're really excited about the auction coming up on next week. I must say that we're all excited about it here in the village. So tell me, do you think you have lots of bidders? You say you're here for the auction. Are you interested in particular, Miss Jones? Wait.
What?
All of a sudden, she stops her talk and allows you to answer.
Wow, she leaves space for something to be said.
Yes.
I go with a croaky voice. Yeah, I'm here on behalf. I'm here on behalf of a third party, at the auction.
Oh, how novel to have a young lady represent people. It's so modern.
I guess it is.
So you're from America, by your accent.
I am.
Please tell me, where do you come from? Are you from San Francisco or New York? It must be a wonderful place to visit. There must be so much to do there.
Yes, there is. Maybe you could go there one day and find out.
Would you like a glass of water? You seem to be a bit croaky.
No, the tea is...
Gets up, pours a glass of water and sort of pushes it, sort of like hands it over to you.
The tea is just fine, but thank you.
Vanessa looks over to you and says, "Oh, Tulip, is this morning's schedule repeating?
I do believe it is. I think I may have to go. I do apologize, Miss Millington. Would you come? Would you be a dear and come with me, Vanessa? It's really quite uncomfortable.
Well, maybe we could arrange a luncheon appointment. It was so nice to talk to you about America and your life there, young girl.
Of course. Oh, spluttering coughing.
Corona.
Corona. Sorry. She looked like Helen Brickley. She looked like Helen Brickley after 9 Coronas.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, you hastily depart the first antique shop.
And when we spill into the car, I'm going to burst out laughing.
Oh my! You can see she's hardly lets us get when she goes off on one, don't you? Don't you think?
Absolutely right. I couldn't believe it. She asked me so many questions, and all I needed to do was answer the last one she asked. It was hilarious. Oh my dear, you picked up on that so good. I mean, I thought maybe if I cough a little before, and then soon you'll ask. I thought you did really well.
Oh no, Tulip. I think you did remarkably well, considering what she's like. Oh, I do hope she doesn't want to become my friend.
Well, gee, what are the chances? I'd say around about 99.999999 forever.
Yes, indeed.
Burst out laughing. I'm gonna burst out laughing. Let's go for a drink. Let's tie one on.
Well, lead on, my friend. Lead on.
Mercy, take us to the inn for a quick drink.
Okay. She looks across the road. You really want me to drive you there? She says.
I'm so sorry, Mercy. I completely forgot. In our hysterics over what just happened in there, which we will tell you on the way back, was hilarious. Would you like to come in, Mercy? I'm sure you'd like a little drink yourself. Come on.
Like a persuade roll or similar.
A fast talk, please. Come on now, Mercy. You know that he's not always around, and you can have a little tipple, and you know you can look after yourself. And I roll a solid 32, which is a hard for me, I think. Yes.
Okay, I'll come with you.
Great stuff.
Great.
Oh,
She's
God.
very economic. I think economic with her words, Mercy.
I've noted this, and after she said it, I said, "There's no need to be so chatty."
She raises her eyebrow at you.
I give a cheeky smile, and then head off in. All girls together, fantastic.
Okay. You enter the pub. There's Mary. Mary's at the bit early. Oh, well, actually,
It's about 10 o'clock. Oh no, it'd be about 10 o'clock, half 10.
you realise that you spent an hour at the antique shop
Wow.
listening to Maud Millington, listening to Miss Millington,
So it's like, right, half 10.
and the only words that you said were the words that you said in that hour.
Right. And she went on for 45 minutes. Didn't take a breath. Okay, so we're going to the pub. We'll be laughing then. Mercy's going to hear all of the stuff, and we're going to be sort of like very quiet in the corner, giggling about it.
Okay.
Not so that people could hear it and then tell her on the bounce, because that would be awful.
Okay. Mercy wants a lemonade.
Done.
And,
Vanessa, what would you like?
Vanessa will have gin and tonic. I'll have a gin and tonic. Could you hold the tonic
I'll take a whiskey, thank you. With a splash of water.
Ah, yeah, go okay then, lass. Coming right up.
Nice.
There's not many people in the pub at the moment. After about 15 minutes, Lady Hetherington walks down the stairs.
Oh.
And she recognises you and... Oh, good morning, Miss Jones.
Wow, Lady Claire. You're looking simply divine this morning.
Why, thank you.
Do you have any plans for the day?
No, not really. I have nothing to do. Do you have any plans yourself?
My Lady Claire, where did you get those shoes?
My wardrobe.
No. Child, honey, child. Lady Claire, where did you buy them from? Are they French?
Hold on, let me find a character.
Oh, yeah.
Bayek.
This role player knows girls talk about shoes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not doing any kind of single-dimensional character, you know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Professional RP.
Oh, professional RP player, yeah. Role player.
Ooh, okay. I believe I got these in Paris.
I thought so. I could tell by the design.
Yes, it's the latest fashion, Paris heel.
They really are quite exquisite. I think I might have to go and get a pair.
Functional and elegant.
What a perfect way of framing it. I totally agree.
She looks at Vanessa. She goes, I don't have... I've had the pleasure.
Please forgive me. Forgive my manners. I'm so terrible sometimes. Please, this is Vanessa de Winner. Vanessa de Winner. This is Lady Claire Hetherington. Lady Claire Hetherington. This is Mercy. Mercy, Lady Claire.
Pleased to meet you. Vanessa. Oh, don't. It must be troubling times for you. Oh, quite, says Vanessa.
Yes, it is.
You're here for the auction, Lady Hetherington. Indeed I am. I have arrived a little. It's such a quaint village. Distraction such as this is very amicable. So, what plans have you for today, then, ladies? I see your friend, Mr. Langdon, is not. I do hope he's okay.
Oh well, he's taking care of a little bit of business back at Sleepmore Manor, which is where we are gonna be heading after we've had a little aperitif. If you care to join us, before we've only just sat down. It may be a little early for you, Miss Claire, but maybe a lemonade.
No, I think I'll have what you're having.
A whiskey and water.
Whiskey and water, yes, that'll take the edge off. Horrible weather we're having.
Well, you hold on there 1 second. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Okay, so you spend the rest of Hetherington and Vanessa at the pub. You get the impression that Claire Hetherington is a little bit bored, not of your company, but just in general. And she does mention that maybe it was a mistake coming too early for the auction, but as she's here, she's happy for the company of the three of you.
Okay. If I can, I'd like to try and ask some, without asking any direct questions, see if I can find out what she's interested in. What does she talk about?
Be right back.
Does keep her interest. Ah, okay. So what do you do to keep things interesting, Lady Claire, when you're not here, of course?
A little bit of horse riding, a little bit of archaeology, a little bit of history, I suppose. Quite a bit of travelling. I have done a bit of travelling in my in the last few years. So all this during the conversation, you get. She has.
Does she have the makeup? Does she have the makeup of an investigator?
In a way, she kind of reminds you a bit of Sebastian.
I was thinking, you know,
not as academically inclined, but she's definitely got that worldly presence. Yes. During the conversation, she seems to be a little bit of she does certain things that she says does remind you of Sebastian. And despite the fact that she doesn't mention it directly, you get the impression that she's quite interested in matters of the occult and stuff like that.
What you're saying is exactly what I wanted to glean out of her.
Yeah.
You know, Lady Claire, I do declare that we may have something in common. You remind me of my grandpa. I remember mentioning him, and you could not recall him, which is a shame. I believe that you would love some of his lectures on early American native tribes, and his knowledge in Egyptology is really quite extensive. But also his fascination with the Oogie Boogie. Most would call it the supernatural these days, but I found his way of talking about it really quite quaint. He said it was the best way of speaking to primitives if you wanted to talk about the supernatural, back when the supernatural was considered as heresy almost at the time.
Okay, do it. So when you start talking about this, she expresses doesn't reveal. You think she's holding back her true knowledge of the subject, but she seems to follow what you're saying, and like every now and then she like alludes to her knowledge, but she's not being quite forthright, and she sort of seems to be more reserved about speaking about such matters in public. But you get the impression that she knows a little bit more than she's letting you know.
Well, I won't press any more questions or press her further on anything that she says. What I've divulged about my grandpa should be enough, as she has our contacts. And we're going to leave at some point, obviously.
Before you leave the pub,
Yeah.
the door to the pub sort of slams open, and a gentleman, greying at the temples, walks in with some like overnight bag, and he sort of slams the door open, steps in out of the rain. He's like drenched. Sort of looks around the establishment, and from where he's standing at the door, sort of loudly says, "Innkeeper, where's my room?" And Mary sort of like, Bayek. I believe you have a room reserved for me. The name's Rutland. Yes, Mr. Rutland. Yes, this way, please. And she leads him upstairs. Following Rutland, who speaks with a Yorkshire accent.
Sorry.
Then comes a woman. And following her is another man carrying more bags. And they all venture upstairs. The man following Rutland and the woman that's with him seems burly, smartly turned out, wearing driving gloves. Sort of gives the place a once over with his eyes, and then walks up the stairs following Rutland and the woman.
It's the male mercy.
Huh?
It's the male mercy.
Male mercy, yeah. You hear, after a few minutes, you hear like, "No, this will not do. This room is absolutely not what we were expecting. Please make sure that we have another room available as soon as possible." You hear from upstairs, and the man's is in his mid-40s, the woman's late 30s, and the guy carrying the bags is about 30, a little bit younger than the woman. And you notice nothing. You notice no, you don't.
Well, I am going to look to see if the woman gives the manservant any extra attention. Because they
No.
all the chauffeur.
No.
Now to me. Okay, I was just seeing if there was a dynamic between the chauffeur and the wife.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you noticed. No, not that you noticed.
Oh man, I say to the girls, he
the
seems a little bit. What's the word? Oh yeah, obnoxious.
Yes, quite rude.
Quite rude indeed.
Well, as I was saying, says Lady Hetherington, what are your plans for the day?
Well, after this, we're gonna go back to the to Sleepmore Manor and stake out and wait for the entity to get back so we can destroy it. Take care now, Claire. Bye. And I get up to start leaving.
Okay. She sort of. Okay, she lets you go.
But I will give her a lingering look and a wink just before I leave. It wasn't meant to sort of sound rude or one-upmanship or anything, almost an invitation. Like to say, well, we're not doing anything much but this. And to say it in such a casual way, it would take her off guard.
Okay. You leave the pub. She doesn't follow you, not straight away.
Make her way to the car.
Okay. As you step outside, it's still raining. You see there is a Bentley parked outside. It's kind of parked in a way that's
Awkward as
as near as to the pub as possible. Half on the pavement.
Slash its tires.
Yeah, as little time as possible in the rain for the master.
Slash the tires.
Yeah.
Slash those tires.
Slash the tires.
Take out my wakizashi. Shing.
He's an asshole. He's obnoxious. Why wouldn't you?
Because the only grief will be on the manservant. Yeah. All it'll be is a little bit of inconvenience for the bloke.
All four of
The
them?
manservant's going to have to change the tyre in the rain.
All four of them?
Oh man, I'm looking at these stats of these people. It's just ridiculous.
It's Alistair Crowley, isn't it?
Every NPC has got a specific skill to do with their personality. That's quite funny.
All right, so the guy, Rutland, is his skill. Does it say cunt?
Lower tone.
Tone.
Lower tone. Yes. Lower tone.
Great skill to have. The lower tone skill.
Lower the tone of the conversation.
Yeah. Wow.
I can't give out the others, and not yet anyway. You don't know them well enough.
Lower tone.
But he got an extreme success on lower tone when he entered the room, when he entered the pub.
He makes me think that he's newly rich. Nouveau riche.
Don't know about that.
A little bit common. You know, bringing the tone down.
Let's
and
see.
all.
He spoke with a Yorkshire accent.
Oh well, there you go. He's made brass from muck. Go up the hard way.
You think?
Work for it.
Why aren't you
Let's
slashing his
know
bloody
about it.
tyres, you goody two shoes?
Eh?
Slash all four of his tyres.
I will not. As I say, it will be the manservant who gets the shit.
Sure.
Maybe getting into his room and cutting up all his clothing. Now that'd be something. We dash across the road and get into the car as quickly as we can, like girlies do.
Okay. Well,
Glad you
this
didn't do my hair this morning.
this weather's sort of scuppered our exploration of the village. What do you suggest we do now, then, Tulip?
Unfortunately, there's nothing more exciting than saying, I guess we should head back to the manor.
We'll see the police station.
Okay.
And maybe pop in at the to see. I did want to do that anyway. Pop in and try and find. I'll go. Bear with me 1 second, girls. I'm just going to dash back into the pub, into the inn. I'm going to go to Mary. Mary, has there been any messages at all from any of the inspectors?
Okay, Mary's not there. She's still up with the newcomers.
Oh, right. Does that mean that Bill?
But they come back downstairs as you enter downstairs, or rather, the loud man comes back downstairs with the other guy, and he says to the other guy, "Probably best if you move the car now. If you eventually Brassic, I don't think it'll be necessary for the car to be used again today, so park it in more discreetly, will you, sir? Will you, Brassic?" Yes, sir," says the other man, and he sort of walks past you, sort of steps out, moves out of the way. He doesn't shoulder barge you.
Shoulder barge, yeah, good.
He doesn't shoulder barge you.
Yeah, and I'll do the courtesy of giving way also.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
doesn't have to displace himself so much.
Okay. He walks out of the pub, and the loud gentleman sort of notices you and sort of gives you a bit of a wink, and then sits down at a table.
Yeah. Okay. He gets nothing from me like that.
Smiles and winks at you flirtatiously.
Right. I just look him up and down and turn away and go to the bar. And does Mary come back to the bar?
No, Mary's still upstairs with the woman.
Who is behind the bar?
Mary's husband.
Is it Bill?
Bill will do.
It was Will or Bill, I think. I was looking back for it to see if I could find it. I know I wrote down Mary's name later on. I thought, right, yeah, Mary. Did I just remember it?
Yeah, William Brewer.
It is William. Oh,
William
Bill.
and Mary Brewer. Yeah, Bill.
Bill, would you know whether your wife has been given a message or would be holding a message for me? Does she have a place where she keeps them? I'm just wondering whether the inspectors have left word.
Let me just check there, lass. He pulls out like a... So that behind the bar, there's like a pigeonholes with keys. And he goes, no, there's no message for you, Miss
Jones. Terrific. Thank you very much, Bill. Take care now.
Good day.
Thank you, I will.
As you turn, you notice a woman coming down the stairs with Mary behind.
Okay.
It seems to be...
Judge the atmosphere.
She seems to be dressed, despite the fact that it's like late morning for the evening. She has like a skirt with a long slit up to her hip.
So she's in a cocktail dress or something.
Yeah, and she sort of saunters over to the bar and goes, "Could I have a gin and tonic, please, darling?" To Will, and Will sort of like, "Oh, yes, mum, yes, mum." She gives her a drink, and she goes and saunters over to the man, and she sort of looks you up and down and sort of sniffs and walks past you and sits down next to the guy that gave you a wink. Such a quaint place, she says.
Such a quaint place.
Yes.
I'm out the door. And into the car.
As we leave, two workmen come in and go over to the bar. "All right, Bill, how you doing, lad? 2 pints of best, please." And you notice, I'll make a spot hidden roll.
Oh, 32.
The two local lads that have just come in, sort of like in their mid-20s, burly. They sort of like plonk themselves next to the bar. The woman newcomer, we'll call her Sophia, sort of pushes her breasts up a bit so that they're like, she's got more of a cleavage, and sort of like looks over at the two young men that enter the bar. She's about late 30s.
What's that?
She's got the same appearance as you, Tulip, 65. She's like got a suggestive look about her. She's sort of like, you know, arranges her posture in a suggestive way, directed at the two guys that have just walked in. The man that the Rutland seems to just ignore her, and in fact he's looking at you.
What, like he knows that's her behaviour?
In fact, he's more interested in you, in the same sort of way that she is in two guys. Gives you another wink and a sort of like a leering smile. Fancy a drink, Lord?
I go, and I'm out the door. I go, I'm out the door.
Okay.
That was just grotesque. I almost feel I need a sanity roll for that. Yeah. That was just.
You know, it's the guy that Rutland asked to move the car. Remember him calling him Brassic. The Bentley's parked across the street in a more sociably acceptable parking position, and he's sort of like hunkered up against the rain, and he sort of runs across the road back into the pub. Doesn't give you a second look, just runs sort of like fast walks past you.
Cool. Fine.
Make a spot hidden roll.
10.
Is that a spot? That's an extreme, isn't it?
Extreme for me, that one.
Okay, your eyes meet as he walks past, as he sort of walks fastly past you, and you just get he's just got a blank expression in his eyes. Seems quite just like a blank expression. It's an unusual gaze.
Is it different to the one that he had before?
Didn't really notice his eyes before. You sort of like catch his eyes this time. They're like
Dead eyes.
Just a blank look to him.
Are they like a shark's eyes? Are they like dead inside? They look hollow.
Yeah, kind of.
Is he carrying a green gem?
Hmm.
No, but you recognise this look from it kind of reminds you of someone or something that you've encountered in the past. Not necessarily Oogie Boogie.
Oh, so it wasn't the professor back in
Iram.
Iran when he was taken over by the entity.
You got an extreme, didn't you?
Yeah.
Uh,
What other entities have you seen that's been controlled by an
okay, all right. There's seems to be like an insane look about his eyes. He's definitely seen some dark shit that's affected him mentally, maybe.
Right.
That's the look that you're familiar with in your, past experiences.
Someone hasn't seen too much.
Possibly. Yeah, he definitely looks like someone who's... Now, that could mean anything from encountering Cthulhu mythos type creatures to...
Shell shock.
Yeah, shell shock, PTSD. By the way he carries himself, you reckon maybe ex-military. He was in the Great War. Possibly, actually, quite possibly, with his age and that. He's about 30. He's probably seen a bit of action in the trenches.
Oh, you just made me think about all of that. Yeah, that kind of shell shock, literally shell shock, is what we now call PTSD.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe this guy is. That's their connection. Maybe it was the army or something like that, and he's taken him under his wing as his manservant.
Definitely something not normal about him by the look in his eyes.
When Rutland was asking, was his demeanor friendlier than you'd expect from someone like that would burst into a room? Was he kind of not so much gentle, but almost friendly with it?
Who? Rutland.
Yeah.
When
Maybe
he what?
like, there's a good chap. Pop it over there, because we'll be able to move it there now, as opposed to Brassic, move the car, get it across the road.
No, it was more like
Amicable.
Brotherly.
Rutland was speaking to him like he was a servant or
like
a staff.
Oh, okay. Nothing.
It wasn't friendly. There wasn't anything friendly about it. Do it, and I expect you to do it, kind of attitude.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Perhaps I'm trying to make it too romantic. But he's clearly taken somebody on that has had a rough time.
Are you going to the copper shop now?
Yes. I've been trying to, and he keeps on saying there's somebody else walked past you. Just before you get to the door, someone comes in. Yeah. Just after you come in, someone walks in behind you. After they've walked in behind you,
something else comes in.
Come back downstairs, then you're going to see something else. Hopefully.
It's great.
And then when you get outside, someone's going to brush past you, but look at you in a particular. I'm trying to get to the.
Okay. Eventually, you get to the police station. Vanessa's sort of waiting for you, trying to stay dry.
Yes.
Oh, no, she's actually sitting in the car with Mercy while you pop back into the pub.
Yes, yeah. I wouldn't have expected them, and I said, "Wait right here. I'm going to dash them."
So, next scene, police station.
Wait for me right here. I shouldn't be too longer than 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, and I dive on in.
Okay. Webley. Wait a minute. Is it Webley?
Yeah.
No, it's Croker for the constable. Webley's the inspector, and then he's got his
Crown.
Mr. Crown, Stanley Crown.
Didn't you leave Croker at the house?
Yep.
I know. Croker's at the house. Constable Croker's at the house, at the manor.
Yep.
So Webley's in the police station.
Mhm.
Okay, so who says come in?
Webley's sitting at the desk.
Right, I guess I'm not going to walk in.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Webley, just to appraise you of the situation, after staking out the evening, nothing happened at all. I haven't heard of any reports of murders from anywhere else, and I can only say that that's good news. Our intentions now are to stake out the entrance and allow the entity access to the room that we believe it's heading for. At which point we plan to try and trap it there after destroying it. That way we will have as little contact with the body and the item that is holding the entity's connection to this world. The less contact we have with that, the better. We feel this is the best way. I just wanted to let you know that this is what's going on at the moment. Vanessa de Winter and Mr. Prothero will be taking refuge in the shed, where they will be safe. There won't be anybody in the house where this entity is heading for. If you would care to join us, we will continue our vigil just before it gets dark. I don't know whether, sorry, I don't know whether Mr. Stanley Crown is still with you, or what's your means of transport? Oh, you have a car, so it will only be 20 minutes for you anyway. So yeah, there we have it, Inspector.
Okay, we'll join you manor after dinner.
Terrific. As I always say, the more the merrier. I
Yes,
bid you good day. And try not to stay out in this too long.
It's 20 to 11, by the way, boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
I get in the car, drive back.
Okay, you get in the car, you drive back, spend the rest of the day at the manor. Unless there's anything specific you want to do.
Well, I'm hoping that the tulip show is over. Eat and get ready for the evening.
Okay. For the same thing, the same
Setup.
Same setup as the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
Except with the two new inspectors with us. Webbler and Crown will be here as well.
Yeah, they turn up. They turn up after dinner, and you stand vigil over the manor for the night.
Unless it's something you can think of, Neil.
Nope.
You want?
The only thing I would do is to say that would you tell me about the new people?
Yes. Yes, of course I would be.
I would say.
In he walked, bold as brass.
Mm-hmm.
What a horrible man.
Well, it sounds
Totally
it.
put down the tone of the place
Mm-hmm.
in a split second. It was
My
like he couldn't
God.
have said it. He couldn't have said it any worse.
Damn.
It's not what he said; it's the way he said it.
Mm-hmm. You think they're here for the auction?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it for one split second.
And you say they were very sexually suggestive?
They were both really quite
Forward.
They were overtly.
Forward.
I mean, it was brazen.
Right.
Brazenly forward.
A lot of these occult types are very sexual. Sexual deviants, in fact.
What of the what?
The occult types. I myself precluded, of course.
All right. But it was his manservant that really
Like he'd seen something.
caught my eye, so to speak. Yeah, he had that kind of far away look that people get when they've either seen something so grotesquely disgusting in real terms, on earthly terms, or he's seen something supernatural.
Like some bizarre sexual activity.
Possibly.
Involving weird ritualistic behavior.
Or he was on the Eastern Front.
Possibly both.
First World War.
It could be both, Tulip.
The things that people see in war, a lot of men cannot talk about them.
You're right there. Well, anyhow.
His manservant's name was Brassic. His name was Mr. Rutland. And I didn't quite catch her name, but she looked like one of those Sophia types or something.
Right. Ah, well.
Also bumped into Lady Claire.
Oh, yeah.
She looked exquisite, you have no idea. And the shoes, I have got to get those shoes. Parisian shoes. A kind of a casual but functional heel.
Right.
But so neat around the foot. And it was just so pretty.
Uh-huh.
The leather was cut. It was kind of cut with a kind of a filigree going on and these lovely little piercings in them with little holes.
What did she say, Tulip? What did she say?
Yeah. So, as we were chatting, I believe that Lady Claire Hetherington, one of those gentrified people that have found normal life boring, so they go to look for something else. Besides her knowledge of history and archaeology, she is also very well traveled. And sometimes she would just flat out remind me of Grandpa Jones.
Wow.
So I did a very naughty thing before I left. Because she was being so cagey. It was almost like she was frightened of the ridicule, possibly. That can stop people from opening up. It can be a dangerous thing, talking about black magic, or the occult, or the supernatural openly in an inn. So I can understand her reticence about coming forward. So before I leave the table, I say, well, anyway, we're just going back to wait for an entity to come back so we can destroy it.
What to them?
and then just got up and walked away. I did flash her a grin and a little wink.
Okay. And what did she say?
I think she was intrigued and a little shocked,
Mm-hmm.
which is all very good. And if she is serious, well, we'll see her soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, she could be a very useful ally.
How so?
Well, a being landed gentry, she is Lady Claire Hetherington. And with that kind of privilege comes access.
I don't plan on being in Britain for long, Tulip. As soon as this
Hey.
auction's over, I'm out of here.
You never know when we're going to need connections. And I don't mind trying to culture them as we go.
Well, I'll leave that up to you, Tulip. That's not my interest.
Alrighty, Rady. Leave that to my fast mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So that conversation was over dinner.
Over dinner.
Over dinner. Shortly after Gubbins takes away all the plates, you hear a car pull up in the driveway.
Go to the window, have a look.
I'm guessing that will be Inspector Webley and his assistant Stanley Crown. Said that he would be joining us.
And you notice a model towards the pull up in. Two gentlemen get out. You recognise them as Inspector Webley. Webley looks over at the house, opens his mouth, and the credits spew out.
Thought so. Okay, nice one, dude. We all know.
So ended the latest session of the House of Relay.
Is it?
The House of the Lake.
Oh.
House of Relay.
The
So
Return
he's
of
in
the
the
Hound.
House of the Lake.
House of
Aye.
Relay.
What fucking lake?
I thought
The
this
House
was...
of Relay in the shadows of Yogg's.
Isn't this Return of the Hound?
This particular scenario is
Right.
the campaign is the House of Relay.
Right. Better roll. Are we rolling or leaving it till next week?
No, now.
Then.
Not many ticks.
No.
One,
Neil, did you
two,
get one?
3.
I got 3.
Cool.
Pass, talk, listen, and spot for you.
This is my good journey.
No.
Fail.
Fast. Listen. Spot and track.
Listen. Goes up by fucking 9. Holy shit.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, 81 now.
Nice.
Good.
Oh, fuck.
Pass talk then, Mark.
Fast talk.
Fail. So I got 1 at least.
You got one up.
Yeah.
Fast talk. Come on, baby. What have I got to beat? 79. Come on. 49.
Damn.
Listen, 63. 9%.
Damn.
Spot hidden 83. Come on. 36.
Oh my goodness. Now you look.
Track.
Oh, track, yeah.
Let's see if I can roll higher than 15, shall we?
Let's pray.
Fine.
You watch. Well, you won't be able to watch. I'll fucking end up watching it fucking... Oh.
Hey up.
90.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, all the others, like, I could... Oh, right. But I get
What'd you get?
a big fat whopping...
Go on, get 10. Get a 10, come on.
Fat whopping 6.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
happy with that.
I'll try my luck. 79.
1, yeah?
Sorry. Oh, yeah, 21.
I rolled an 8. Fail.
Oh, I went up a segment.
What's your luck now?
I don't know. Just say me track went up a segment, so I'm now on 4s,
Yeah, 10 and 4.
10 and 4. Yeah.
14. Oh, you mean the
No,
halves and hard.
20,
and-
10.
Yeah.
Look,
Come on. Come on.
92.
Ooh.
I guess this week.
Roll a 10.
And that's another 6.
Nice. It's respectable. Nothing wrong with that.
57.
Cool.
Yeah, nice.
Thanks, you, Seth.
The plot thickens.
I was very aware of that almost being the Tulip Jones show.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was alright. I wouldn't have done much more.
I know it wasn't like steamrolled you or anything, was it?
I would have only had asked Mary if anyone's been flashing the cash around, or has anyone become rich all of a sudden?
Right.
But
I mean, I did say to you should go to the village, but you really didn't want to, did you?
Fuck that. This guy could turn up at any time.
It's true.
It's
true. It's true.
It's all good. Well, boys, until next week.
Yeah, thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for watching.
Putting up with us.
Indeed.
Yeah, see you next week. Oh.
Yes. Yes, be safe.
Yep.
See you next Monday.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Right, so